morning, everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Stamping. I'm Kelly, and this is a beautiful day in the Ozarks. Welcome to Tuesday Talk. Now, this is not necessarily just geared towards demonstrators, but also those of us who try to be organized. And I had told you in my pre-order video that I would be showing you how I store my stamps and dies. I'm also going to give you a sneak peek on how I store my papers. So I want to start with my catalog. And I have catalogs going back 20 years, and I like to keep them because it lets me go back and refer to some of the design ideas for stamps that I've bought in the past, because as I've said before, I only buy stamps that I know I will use over and over again. Also, going back and looking at some of the designs from past years may spark creativity when I'm stuck for an idea with the current stamp set, and that's where my old is new blog posts come in at. So I start with my catalog, and I lay it open on my copy machine. Let me get one that I can open. I can't show you the new one. But I lay it open on the copier like this, so that, and I may have to fold this in so that it fits on the drawer. But that allows me to photocopy the spine. Now this one blurred a little bit. I may go back and recopy this one. And then what I do is I cut out just the spine off of the photocopy. And I use packing tape to put it on these pack and ship envelopes. They are called string and button envelopes, and I get them from Sparko online, and I'll leave a link for them down below. And then this gives me two pockets. One, I've got one that I can put my big catalog in, and then I've got a smaller pocket where I can keep retired lists, occasions catalogs. So any of the catalogs and promotions that came out when this all occasions catalog was active, I can keep in here. And then I just set it book style up on the shelf. And I have a bookshelf that holds nothing but my Stampin' Up! Catalogs. So that's how I keep my catalogs. This is how a spine is supposed to look. I've glued it to a little bit wider piece of white cardstock, and then I just attach it to the seam of the pack and ship bag. So there's that one. That's how I do my catalogs. Also, about my paper, I store all my designer series papers in these 12 by 12 paper keepers from the Paper Studio. And if you watch at Hobby Lobby, Paper Studio products go on sale quite frequently at 50% off. And then I just buy the bag of 10. And it lets me keep all of my designer series papers in them. And I'm looking to see if, I don't think I have a current one, but I'll use this. I use a page protector, and I store it inside for storing all of my scraps that go with this designer series paper. So my scraps are with the big sheets, and when I'm working on a project, my scraps is what I go to first. Now you'll notice this one says shimmer paper, and this is the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I store my cardstock the same way, well, similar. This is what I call my inventory sheet, or it separates my colors on my shelf. And I will put a picture of that on the blog with this video that shows my paper storage on the shelf behind me. But I have a sheet that I just create a tab, and I got this from Jennifer McGuire, I believe is where I got this idea from. And I keep one sheet in here, and it separates each of my colors of cardstock. So I have, this will hold all my scraps, and then behind it is my full sheets, and then the next color has one of these with the scraps, and the next one with, and then the full sheets. So that's how I do my 8.5 by 11 and my 12 by 12 papers. But what started this talk video was when I got my shipment on my pre-order. I told you that how I store my dies a little differently. I love the new cases that our dies are coming in, and this is how I will probably store some of my dies going forward, or at least it's a good temporary spot for me. But this is how I store them. There is a video online on how to make pockets from your laminator pages, and then I cut my sheets to fit, and I cover them with a sheet from this magnetic vent covers. Now you can buy these at any home improvement store. They are where they have like the register covers and air filters and that kind of thing for your heating and air conditioning systems in your house. And I just cut it and I glue it to a piece of chipboard, and then it keeps all of my dies here. One of the reasons I started doing this was because if any dies come loose of the magnet, they're still in the pocket. And then I have these filed according to whether they're current Stampin' Up, and then I go to alphabets and shapes and seasonal, such as all of my Christmas are kept together, and all of my, providing they're not current. Now if they're current Stampin' Ups, they are in a divider section all by themselves, so I know instantly those are current products. So to do this, we're going to start with the Good Morning Magnolia. And I linked yesterday in the pre-order haul video about these cases that I get. Move tabby. And they have the little clips in these DVD cases and no spine, no spinder to keep these in. And these are 5x7. But if you get to the 7, then it falls into this crease and your magnet wants to roll. So I cut them like 6 5/8 by 5. And they're just perfect for storing. And see, I thought I had one here that's cut. I do. Now because this Magnolia set is a little bigger, I may have to go with a couple more. So what I will do is I'll take the paper out of this set, and I will slide it into the spine, into the cover jacket on this one, because they're just the same as ours. The only difference is they've got the clips. And then I can start putting my dies on here. And here's the rest of our Magnolias. Now see, this is a big image, and it may not look like they're all going to fit here, but I can layer, if I can get a hold of it with my fingers to get underneath of it, that might be the trick. The ones that are directly on the tape stick a little bit better than some of the other ones. But as I said, the tape on these, they've taken it down to where it's not quite as stiff, so our dies come off of the paper backing a lot easier. Now, I quoted Tiffany Spalding yesterday in the haul video, and if you don't know who Tiffany Spalding is, she is the creator of a storage system called the Scrap Rack, which is where I store all of my general use scrapbooking stuff. I love the scrapbooking system. One base, and I believe four spinders will fit on a top of a filing cabinet. And you can store so much in it, and it's like flipping through pages of a book. And as you can see, we're getting quite a bit on here. They're all going to fit. Whoops, as long as we get the pedals going the right direction, they're all going to fit. Now, this one may be a little tricky. Yeah, we're going to have just a little bit of an overhang, but that's fine. And then what I will do, and that'll fit inside of there too. Then I can take this, and I don't need the sandwich part. I know how it's going to sandwich. So I'll just use the backing from the dies, and I'll slide that in the back. And then my stamps, and I'll put those together on here. We'll go just like that. And now I have, and that's because I've got the paper in there. Now I have my stamps and my dies for this set all in one place. just like that. Now, the question is, so if I order those cases and I switch everything out, what do I do with these? I have a solution. The narrow ones are great. As an author, I think two things. I think everything needs to stand up on a shelf like a book so I can see all the spines. The other thing is I found that I'm a flipper, so I want to flip through things like a filing system. So for this one, I go with the book, and I put a spine piece on the outside, and I've used my label maker to put glue dots on this one. And in this one, I keep all of my glue dots, and they sit on my desk on the back of my, see if I can find it this way. So they sit on the back of my work table, up like that. I can see the spines. I've got one for that. I've got one for embellishments, and I put, this is the color of the embellishments that are in this box. If I've got wider ones, I use them, I cut out spines, or spindles, spools, and I wrap all my twine on them with the item number, how much they cost, and what the item name is, and I keep those in here. And again, they're on my desk, just like that, and I can see what they are, and I've even put on here that they're on page 201, so if I'm needing to reference something really fast when I'm doing a video, I can tell you exactly where to find it. So that's how I store my papers and my embellishment, a lot of my embellishments and twines that are current, and my stamps and dies. You notice you can use any type of a shape to create your tab on your papers. I use this retired label. It was not retired when I started storing my papers this way, so I've just used the same one. And it's a great way to make use of your scraps. And then I go through and I print out, excuse me, I print out all of my labels on a sheet of copy paper, or actually I was using the label sheets, the square label sheets, but I'm out of those. So I've just started printing them out on 32-pound weight printer paper because they're a little bit heavier than standard cardstock or card weight or copy paper. And then I use my Xyron machine to turn them into a sticker, run them through, put them on the tabs. And I punch 2 from the white cardstock so I can sandwich it on the edge of the paper. And that's how I label everything. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Also, please, if you like organizational videos, you want to see more of how I do things in my office, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I am pushing for the 1,000 subscribers so I can start doing some really cool live videos. And if you hit the little bell, you'll always get notifications of when new videos go up. Usually if the video is on my channel, it's also on my blog, and my blog link is always in my signature down below. Remember that our first class with the Everything Rosie journal kit starts on Friday. So come back for that, and we'll start putting the basics of our journal together. This one is only going to be a 3-week course, so we're going to put the pages together 1 week. That'll give you time to get your signatures, how to form your signatures, get them stitched into your book. And then the second week, we're going to work on pockets and tucks. And then the third week, we're going to do the embellishments, both inside and out. So, got it all laid out and ready to go. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. And as always, creative blessings and enjoy your day.